clarity of emotions. How can I check in with what I'm feeling, and how then can I translate it to others? How we're going to do that is we're going to look at 4 core emotions: happy, sad, fear, anger. Now that seems really overly simple, I know, but you know the thing that Bruce Lee says, that like perfection is when you strip everything else away. Our feelings are not there to be cast out and conquered. They're there to be engaged and expressed with imagination and intelligence. T.K. Coleman. Okay, so like I said yesterday, that I'd come back and I'd visit emotions. So if you listen to any criticism about how men communicate, you'll find that one of the key elements you'll find in there is that men are not good at talking about their feelings, right? And the reason for that, I believe, is that we live in a society that makes us think about everything else other than our feelings. We turn, like we said yesterday, we're encouraged to turn our feelings into thoughts. So anger becomes, you pissed me off. Right? Anger becomes, the world is against me. Right? Fear becomes, there's a problem that needs to be solved here and I need to work it out. Right? Rather than just feeling fear. So if I can't be clear, if I've not been taught to be understand what I'm feeling, then I have very little chance of being able to communicate it to anyone else, right? So looking at, as we are here, how we create connection, and looking at communication as a way of creating connection with others, there's a 2-part thing to this emotional piece, and that's one. The first part is I have to be clear about what I'm feeling, and then 2, I've got to be able to translate that to others effectively, so I have a chance of getting my emotional needs understood, let alone met. So one of the really useful ways that I learned, and I got this from my years with the Mankind Project, so I don't want to think that I'm making any of this stuff up. This is one of the gifts that my new warrior training adventure gave me, was I got to really understand what I was feeling, and not just understand them, I was given a language that made it easy for me, and in a way I was given permission to allow myself to feel them here in my body, rather than push them up into my head and try to experience it as a thought, right? So it's hard to explain the difference in that, but emotions live in our body. It's a physical response. But I think I'm a bit pissed off, right? Yeah, it all goes up. My joy, my fear, previously rather, it all went up. My fear, my anger, my sadness, it all went into my head as thoughts, rather than allowing them to experience them in my body, right? And so what chance did I have of being able to communicate my emotions clearly when I weren't even sure really what I was feeling and where they lived? So that's what we're going to be looking at, right? We're going to be looking at how can I check in with what I'm feeling, right? And how then can I translate it to others, right? So how we're going to do that is we're going to look at 4 core emotions of happy, sad, fear, and anger. Now that seems really overly simple, I know. But you know the thing that Bruce Lee says, that like perfection is when you stripped everything else away, right? Sometimes simplicity is the key, and we can get more complicated with it. You'll get a psychologist, I'm sure, will tell you there's 32, I think there's 34 emotions they believe people believe there are in 4, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm just saying for me what was really helpful was just having 4, right? Because it gave me a way of being able to at least touch those and being able to feel those and be aware that I was feeling them in my body, and then being able to translate those to others. So there's nuances to it, but we're going to keep it really basic on first level. So joy, right? Joy, happy. When I'm happy, right, I tend to feel it in my face. It gets a little hotter, and I'm feeling happy. And happy usually means for me that something good is happening, right? Or I have something that's really good, right? So joy lives in my face normally, and in my heart, right? Not in my head, where I thought it was. I'm thinking like, it's not about the stuff that's happening. It's about a feeling I have, right? I'm feeling joy. So when today's a good day. How you feeling? Yeah, I'm all right. Actually, things seem okay. You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling happy. And when I own it as feeling happy, I get a chance of feeling more of it, right? And when someone asks me how I'm feeling, I say, I'm happy today. They've got a chance of knowing what I mean. So that's one emotion, right? Happy. Sad, right? Sad is one of those ones that gets turned into a thought quite a lot, It's that we start to tell stories about the stuff that's gone, the people and things that we've lost, right? And all the bits that are missing from our lives, things that have been taken away from us. And what that is that sadness. Right? Sadness lives behind my eyes, and I can feel it a little bit when I'm talking about it now. Sadness lives behind my eyes, normally, and in my chest. I feel it. And sadness is also one of those ones that we're told not to feel. Oh, don't be sad, or especially like with grief, it's like, well, it's time to move on now, right? It becomes an action. It becomes, I feel sadness, and it becomes something I've got to put somewhere else other than feel it. Really valuable for me just to feel sad when I'm sad. And it's not, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, or I'm just all feeling a little bit, it's not right for just feeling a little bit, all these other phrases that we use other than I'm just feeling sad. Someone said to me something that I thought was brilliant, is that emotions are like the weather. It's like we don't wonder why it's raining. We don't wonder why it's sunny. These emotions, they just come, and sometimes there's a reason, and sometimes we're just feeling them, right? But it's really important for me, especially when I'm communicating, when I'm trying to create connection with someone. If I can say, I'm sad today, or you did this thing and I felt sadness, that's really different from turning it into a big story of how they made you feel and what they did, right? So sadness. 3, anger, right? This is one where we have millions of translations, right? I'm thinking you made me an idiot, thinking the world's against me, thinking that I'm going to be attacked. It's all story. You did this, you done that, they did this, they done that. I'm feeling angry. Yeah? Something may have happened. I may have created a story, but the feeling that I have is angry. And that's mine. Because the other thing we also say is, you made me angry. Right? No one makes you angry. You are angry. You become angry. Right? Someone did something. You told yourself a story about that, about what that meant to you, and you felt angry. Right? And really it's just telling you that something ain't right here, right? Somehow your values have been violated. Something's got to be done. It's a really positive thing, and yet we shut it down with people. Don't get angry. Well, as soon as you get angry, you've lost the conversation. But I ain't lost the conversation when I get angry. I've lost the conversation if I let my anger explode in an unhealthy way. But if I keep my anger out in front of me and I use that as that adrenaline rush to kind of drive home and to push against what I need to push against, that's the most valuable energy I have, right? And it's really powerful to tell someone directly that you're angry, right? Especially if you're angry with them. I'm really angry with you about this, right? And you're not demonstrating it. You're not tearing stuff apart. You're just saying clearly, I'm angry with you. I feel angry with you. Really powerful. Gives them a chance of knowing what you mean. Same with fear. Fear, full of emotion, fear. What's going to happen here? I'm scared, right? Scared. Fight or flight kicks in. Right, when I feel fear, I usually get it in my hands. It's like, start to feel all that. And fear is a hard one for me to feel, because as soon as that goes, I can start going directly into my head because I want to problem solve. Something's going to happen here and I need it. But fear lives in my body, right? And so experiment with these 4 emotions, right? Joy. You got something that's really good, right? You're happy, yeah. Things feel right, yeah. See the story there? Things feel right. That's not a feeling. That's a thought. Things are right. When things are right, I feel joy, right? Sadness. I've lost something, you know. Broken something, friendship maybe. Something's happened, and now I feel sad because of that loss. Anger. A value of mine is being violated, or I'm seeing something that goes against my values. Something isn't right, and I need to do something about it. Anger. Yeah. Fear. I'm going to be attacked. Those I love are in danger. I don't know what's going to happen. On the head, and that turns into fear that lives in my body. Not only are these really valuable emotions because they're signifying something to us, when I can speak about them clearly in that way, when I can break it down to those 4 things, people have half a chance of knowing what I'm feeling, and we have a common language because they know what those feelings are too. They know what those feelings are. So it creates connection. Rather than going into my head, using all these different things, I can just say I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm scared. And you will feel the power of being able to say those things, I promise you, and other people will be able to know what you're feeling. And this is one of those areas where I'm so thankful for what I learned from the Mankind Project in just give, even if just give me that basic language, right? So that when I'm in men's groups, I can let men know where I am, and they can know where I am by keeping it simple. Because in my head, it's very rarely simple until I take that time to check in and break it down to those things. What actually am I feeling here? It's all this stuff going on in my head, but what are the feelings? Oh, great. Well, there's some fear in there, and there's some anger underneath that. That gives me a real way of laying out my emotional landscape in a way that I can first check. Remember the 2 bits? I know what's going on for me now, right? And if I'm feeling anger and fear, then there's probably something that's happening and something I need to do. So already I'm getting clear. And when I communicate that, other people are clear. And when there's clarity, there's connection. When there's clarity, there's connection. So that's where I want to go with emotions. Okay, you could go on. There's workshops on this stuff, right, and whole books written on it. So I'm just giving you a bluffer's guide, and I'm not pretending to be the expert. All I'm trying to say is that for me, when I'm trying to connect with myself and know what's going on, when I'm trying to connect with others, if I can break it down to 4 emotions, I give myself half a chance. Now, what I'm sure you're thinking is where's shame in there, or guilt? Guilt is usually some sadness over something I've done, right? So I can usually take guilt to sadness. And shame, although I experience this emotion, I feel it in my body. It's actually a thought. It's actually a judgment. It's a story that I tell myself that something about me is wrong. And I've usually learnt that from somewhere. I've always learnt that from somewhere else, because children, very young children, can't feel shame. They'll feel happy. You give them a toy, give them a sweet, they're happy, right? They'll feel fear. Raise your voice, they sense fear. See a dog barking, they sense fear instinctively. Sadness, right? Someone goes away. Someone gets taken away from them. They feel the sadness. Have a little row with their friends or not getting what their needs met, they get angry. They can sense those things. You can see it in very small children very quick. They don't feel shame. That's why they can run around completely naked and see a cat poo on the floor and pick it up until you said, dirty, that's disgusting, what are you doing, to put that down, right? Or they love showing you their drawings until someone said to them, "Yo, there, what's that? That's rubbish. Like, you really can't draw, can you?" And they feel that pang. They feel that pang of, oh, something about me is wrong. So shame comes from somewhere else. It comes from outside. And I'll probably do something around shame later on. So just to summarize, for me to be able to create connection with others, I need to be clear about what's going on for me, so that I have half a chance of being able to communicate that with them. And how I do that successfully is 4 emotions: happy, sad, anger, fear. And as I say, if you want to experience any of this stuff, I really recommend, obviously, I work for them, so I'm going to, but like, the Mankind Project fundamentally changed my life in many ways. And some of those things were really big, extravagant experiences. And some of those ways were just, wow, that is a really simple truth that no one had taken time to tell me before, or to demonstrate to me. And this simplicity of emotion, really something. So I really recommend that you look up Mankind Project, or you get involved in the Mankind Project. At least go and visit a group, right? Groups online now for free. Get to one. Experience what it's like to be able to speak clearly your own emotions and witness other men do the same. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into an advert, but that's just, it means a lot to me. We'll look at shame in a little bit more detail, if you like, and I'm going to continue looking at how other ways we create connection. So probably I'm thinking the next one is going to be about how we listen effectively. So I hope this is useful to you. Tony tells me I need to tell you where to subscribe and sign up and all that stuff, so I hope he's going to put something around about here. In case you've not looked at the lockdown stuff before, they're just sort of sketches. They're my sketches of things that help me. And so please don't expect them to be perfect. Please don't view them as anything other than my own opinion. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I mean, I've worked in men's personal development for 20 years, but men are all different, right? And as soon as I start thinking that maybe I'm an expert on this stuff, then I'm in danger, right? You know what's going on for you. And sometimes you just need simple tools to help. Well, speak for me, actually. What I need is simple tools and reminders to help me keeping connected and doing the things that I know work for me. And that's what this is. This is a reminder to myself of the things that work for me. And if they're useful for you, fantastic. And if they are useful for you, I'd love to hear about it. But right now, it's a lovely day outside. I'm probably going to get my son and go skateboarding. So enjoy, have a lovely day, experiment with this stuff. Don't make it something you've got to be perfect at. Don't make it a whole hard thing you've got to learn. Be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. But I encourage you, just go out and see what it feels like when you're clear about your emotions. Firstly to yourself, what am I feeling right now? Maybe try and break it down into those 4 to see what you're feeling right now. Yeah? And then when you're speaking to someone about them, see the difference of breaking it down into those 4. Okay? Great. Take care and see you next time. Bye.